of courage way beyond cynicism. And some of that is the regaining of the faith you had as a child despite your current level of wisdom. And that's something to strive for, right? That's a moral attainment. That's not a burying your head back in the sand. Quite the contrary. And so, well, back to the yin and yang symbol. Imagine you have an instinct that orients you. Well, you do, as a matter of fact. There's a reflex that's replicated at multiple levels of your nervous system, and it's ancient. If you have a nervous system as an animal, you have this reflex. And the reflex is something like surprise. You know, if I walk across the stage and I hear a loud noise behind me, I might go like this. And that would be automatic because I'm gripped by unconscious systems. And what's happening is some chaos has emerged and it stops me in my tracks because something unexpected happened, my current plan is incomplete. And then I'll turn and orient towards the place of the disturbance. And that's the beginning of exploratory behavior. And then I might run away, which might make me safe, or I might cautiously investigate, in which case I can find out what caused the disturbance, maybe rectify it, and maybe update my plan so that that sort of thing doesn't happen again. That's a better approach. In fact, that's the optimal approach. That's also the meaningful approach. And so here's something to know. If you're engaged in something and it's infusing you with a sense of meaning, then your nervous system is signaling to you that you've optimized the balance between stability and transformation. And that manifests itself in the sense that you're in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. And it's not conceptual, right? It's not abstract. It's not a theory. It's an embodied sense. And you might say, well, I don't know what that sense is exactly, but it's the sense that you have when you're engrossed in a piece of music. And what's music? Well, it's principled and somewhat predictable patterning, spiced with unpredictability, creative unpredictability. And if it's optimized, it grips you. And it's a representation. It's a representation in some sense of optimal being. And it's so interesting that that's the case because it does grip us no matter how nihilistic you are. Something I always liked about punk rock. I was a teenager when the Sex Pistols first emerged on the scene. And they were very interesting to me because their music is so nihilistic and it's so meaningful. And that's such a weird combination. It's like because the overt lyrics are, well, just smash everything to hell and anarchy everywhere. But, you know, there's a great beat and everybody's dancing away. It's like, and even the skinheads who were anarchic, they would dance. I mean, they'd smash into each other and there was often blood, but it was a kind of dance. It was better than nothing, that's for sure. And that's why they went to the concerts. And so to be imbued by that sense of meaning, even in their nihilistic anarchism, they were still engaged in that, the sense of meaning that music produces. And it does put you, back to the yin and yang symbol, it puts you right in the middle of chaos and order. And that's the right pathway. That's the Tao, by the way, for the Taoists. It's the pathway that runs between chaos and order. And it's signaled to you by the sense of engrossed meaning. And then you could say to yourself, you got to stake your life on something, one way or another, because you have to move forward in ignorance. So you're always making a decision about what you're going to take on faith. I don't care what you're doing. You have to make that decision. Well, what if you staked your life on the intrinsic value of sublime meaning? How would that be? Well, you'd have to act it out to find out. But you do get hints, you know, if you're gripped by something beautiful, it does that, something artistic that's deep. If you're gripped by literature that stretches you, it does that. A movie that engrosses you does that. Almost everything you do that's entertaining does that when you're at a